Okay, so I've been meaning to talk about these pants for quite a while now because, I love these pants. They are super cool. But the problem is that people are styling them terribly. Like, genuinely, you guys look awful. The fits are just... they don't look anywhere near as good as they could be. And you might say, but Oponn, isn't fashion, isn't it art? Isn't it self-expression? And my answer to that is no. It's an equation, and I'm here to teach you. Okay, so whatever. I think I should start by specifying which models I'm talking about, because there are so many models, and I'm not talking about the straight leg ones or the wide leg ones or the skinny ones, because those are all easy to style. You wear them with anything. You wear them with a combat boot, any combat boot, and you look fine. You look good. There's no need to min-max or theorycraft there. I'm talking about the ones like these, the ones that are thick at the thigh, and then they taper down very heavily. These are the glitch iteration, which is the best iteration. But there's also like Ghost. There's also Ghost has like quite flattened pockets, but Sphere, Prism, those are the big two. And the recent permanent collection, Dukkha, they have identical pocket layouts to Glitch, except they're missing one of the knife pockets at the bottom, so it's asymmetrical there. So you can pretty much split the issues you will encounter trying to style these pants into two main categories, like the first one being the weight distribution on your silhouette, and the second one being the visual noise distribution on your body relative to like the rest of your clothes. And people that are shorter will encounter these differently to people that are taller. I think anyone who's like average height or lower that's tried these pants realizes that they absolutely clap your leg silhouette, and a lot of people, in an effort to like change that, will pull them up high to their waist. But what this does generally is that it puts the pocket in the hip area, and if you're trying to conform to like a masculine, like traditional masculine, aesthetic, you don't actually want to widen your hips, which actually brings me to the point where it's like girls should be like wearing the fuck out of these, because they don't need to worry about that type of thing. And what a lot of people will do in photos is take them on from like the side or like a 3/4 angle, because then you can't see the front, and it hides the fact that it looks like absolute dog shit from the front. Take my own photo, for example. I took this photo, 3/4 angle from the back, and overall the outfit wasn't like that good. It was just like kind of stacked. I like the concept of the tumors, and I think the photo was fairly cool, but the silhouette from the front of this outfit wasn't that good at all, and the prosthetic tornadoes are not the ideal boots for the pants. So I think Julius themselves actually do a pretty good job at styling these on both tall and short people. Like if we look at this model who's like 5'8", the styling with their own, like this pointy shoe with like a big chunky sole, I think it actually looks really good. The weight is distributed well, and the aggression of the boots really fits like the pockets. Now, I do think that if his legs were longer and there were no stacks in between the pockets and the boots, this outfit would not be as good. So in this sense, if his legs were like 5 inches longer, you would have trouble with how the visual noise was distributed. So naturally you might think, oh, just wear like a taller boot so the bottom of the pants are moved up and the stacks are maintained. But I think there is actually more to think about when picking a boot to go with these pants, even if you're tall actually, because you want something generally with weight or with visual noise. Like, let's take the runway example, which I think looks really good. The boot is like flared at the top, or maybe they unlaced it, so it's like weight at the cuff of the boots, and it makes the legs look comparatively thinner, and you can get away with a less heavy soled boot. I'm just going to go on to like some side-by-side examples between me, someone who's like, I'm like 5'9", and someone who's taller, I think he's like 6'2", or whatever. I didn't ask his permission to use these photos and to flame him, so I guess I'll apologize like retroactively once this video comes out. Okay, so here, I walk on, the pants are worn at my waist, I'm wearing Prestos as well for comparison's sake. And I think what you'll notice is that there's just no shortage of visual noise on my legs. There's like more than enough stacks, even with 2 cuffs at the ankle. And the weight of the pants is not really an issue until I sag them, at which point maybe the shoes look too light. I don't think looking too bulky overall is so much of an issue right now because my upper body here is fairly slim. and the pattern of the shoes are just noisier than the bamboo Prestos he's wearing. A lot of the problems of looking too bulky comes with once people start layering. So you can see that once I put on this cabinet hoodie, which is very boxy, it's a size XL, it's like oversized on top of already being known for their boxy cut, the proportions get kind of janky. Like the hoodie cuts off right at where the widest part of the pockets start. Visual noise wise though, the hoodie definitely holds its own, like just by itself without any layers, because I mean look at all the rips, there's no chance of the upper half looking too plain compared to all the noise at the bottom half. But I do think that maybe the shoes are again too light here. Like it's honestly not the worst because they're so noisy, but yeah, once I take the hoodie off and I put some boots on, so again starting with the waist, here you'll notice that I'm doing a different PSI to the runway. Since my legs are shorter than I imagine that models is, the abundance of stacks means that it's less likely I'll be able to wear a flared boot and achieve that same effect. So I don't mind them being worn at the waist, it's fairly cool, but once I sag them, I really like the silhouette. Like it kind of reminds me of pod shorts. My upper body is elongated, but honestly it's like, oh my god, wait, rewind that. Oh, hey, in motion it looks so good. Like I genuinely love these pants so much, and it does remind me that a lot of the criticisms that I'm levying here are photo specific. Like in motion a lot of these problems are like meaningless. But here, I'll put on the hoodie again, and I don't know, the proportions it's kind of whatever. Like it's not, I mean it looks fine. I think the visual noise and the weight are mostly localized up top, and then it's okay to have a fairly slim ankle with a mid-sole thickness boot. I think it would look really good with like a boot that had the same shaft thinness as like the prosthetic tornadoes, but like a sole that was like maybe 4 times as bulky. I think that would look really cool. But then I guess I would just like to compare it to the proportions on Benji's legs. Like he's not even wearing them at the waist, I think. I think he's wearing it at the hip as well, but he just has like too much leg. So it results in like fewer stacks. And also, the shoe that he's picked is like fairly light, both weight-wise and visual noise-wise, and I think it's not making good use of what the pants can look like. Okay, well, let's pull up like one more of his outfits. And again, I'm sorry that I keep ragging on you, and you shouldn't take it as like flame for Benji solely, but also like just a testament to how weird these pants are, because Benji has plenty of like incredibly nice outfits where he's wearing like other models of Julius cargos. Like just for example, I just pull up one now, and it looks great. And it's like, to begin with, I only would even offer criticism because it's already kind of within the ballpark of what I could potentially consider good or liking. And on top of all this, I'm very much like approaching it from like a character design point of view, where it's just like between the body and the clothes, I want to design the coolest character possible. And I kind of like ramble about it incoherently for like 20 minutes in my other video, so if you are interested in that, you can take a look. But yeah, it's like day to day I look like dog shit all the time. I break like all these rules, doesn't matter. But with all of that being said, like this outfit is like, it's fucking scuffed, right? No, it's just like, look at the proportions on this. It's like you would expect me to look like that because I'm fucking like not that tall. But there's no world where you should look like on top of all that, it's like the hoodie is far too plain for the pants. Like keep your jacket on, and then the pant-shoe interaction is just like, it's skinny and tapered. I mean, I'm just really not a fan of this. Yeah, I mean, what? That's like 6 minutes, 5 minutes of me just like fucking going at Benji. I feel kind of bad, but whatever. We'll end this video on a positive note, right? On the positive note. Let me just pull up like 2 outfits that I do like with these cargos. Like this one, okay, this one by Mao. He took it at a 3/4 angle, which is kind of cheating, but the upper half is like cool, plenty of visual noise and iconic J28 to balance it out. And then the Vapor Maxes they've always been an interesting shoe because they're so slim up top with such a bulky iconic sole. I don't know how this outfit would look like from the front, but this picture's great. I like the outfit here, it's great. And then this other one is just like, it's actually like a really interesting bottom half. Like they've started off by adding more visual noise and weight to the hips and thigh area, which is a very bold move, and it looks very cool. And then even without the stacks on the bottom half, they've worn a shoe where the details extend up the leg enough so that it doesn't get boring. And just judging from how he looks, he doesn't look like the super tall skinny type. So I think that's like a great use of the strongest points of the pants and then having other cool details surround them. Well, that should be it for the video.